Shalom. Call halal Yahweh Bashim Shai Bahashim Bakakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so. To the scattered Israelites, the hopefully elect that are scattered, that be like unto the speckled bird, scattered among the nations. To the around the four corners of the earth. To the Akwaf that are listening and learning. To you I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago. And watched the season 8 and some of season 7 of the American Horror Story, and it's clear to me that this writer, James S. Levine, clearly has been watching GMS videos, Israelite videos. Just the terminology and the things that are happening in this show is evidence of it. And of course, they screw up the prophecies, which is why I'm going to go into a reading of the book of Daniel. But when you watch this show, when you watch it, the opening, the little trailer, the way it comes on with the snakes and the fires and the beast, basically it's they got all that from the scriptures, and of course they twist it. And it's clear with the last season that Esau knows that serpent is really a man. All right, but they're trying to make the Antichrist one person. They got like the witches and the warlocks against each other, but band together to fight against Satan. Right? And if Satan is against the Most High God, which he is not, Satan is an agent, a power in heaven. All right? And the way to prove that is in Job, the 1st and 2nd chapter. Because that kills the Christianity false narrative that he was kicked out of heaven. All right? Because every time the Lord calls a meeting together, Satan shows up. Why? Because he's supposed to. Why? Because he obeys the Lord and he controls the left-hand side. The Bible talks about, how the Lord sent evil spirits, evil angels. All right? And then it talks about how he had a lion spirit, and the Lord sent that lion spirit to go lie to King Ahab so that he would fall. All right? So these Christians, they don't know the Bible. These directors and they're giving you a false narrative. But one thing they did show you was the utter destruction of Babylon. And then they went on to show you how they're going to survive after Babylon. There's going to be nothing left in Babylon. So without any further ado, let's jump into the lesson. This is Daniel the 7th chapter, and it reads, in the first year of Belshazzar, king of Babylon, Daniel had a dream and visions of his head upon his bed, and he wrote the dream and told the sum of the matters. And Daniel spake and said, I saw in my vision by night, and behold, 4 winds of heaven strove upon the great sea, and 4 great beasts came out of the sea, diverse one from another. And that's talking about out of the people, the sea there. Because you got to remember, people are referred to also as waters. Okay? And so those, in that first beast, it's verse 4. And it says, and the first was like a lion and had eagle's wings. And I beheld till the wings thereof were plucked, and it lifted up from the earth and made stand upon the feet as a man, and a man's heart was given to it. And that first kingdom, great kingdom, because there were many kingdoms, but it was 4 major ones. And the first one was Babylon. All right. And the reason because all the nations and kingdoms that came after that have remnants of Babylon and in it, even till this day. Right? Because the second kingdom borrowed from Babylon. In the second kingdom, verse 5. And behold, another beast, a second like to a bear, and it raised up upon itself on one side, and it had 3 ribs in its mouth and between its teeth. And they said thus unto it, arise and devour much flesh. That second kingdom was the Persian Medes. All right? which they took down Babylon. Okay? And they became the second great kingdom in the earth. And they left many, many artifacts. And all those artifacts, the people were dark with woolly hair for the most part too. Big beards. You know? Just thought I'd throw that in there because it's true. All right, and then in verse 6, it says, "And I beheld, lo, another like a leopard, which had upon the back of it 4 wings, a fowl, and the beast had 4 heads, and dominion was given unto it." All right, and that was that third kingdom was the Greeks. All right, well, the kingdom of the Greeks was really the kingdom of the Edomites, because Alexander, a Macedonian, is an Edomite. You trace his biblical lineage back to Esau, Edom. He's a grandson of Amalek. All right, and the Amalekites are the Jewish people today. All right, and then you can read about, and it says that he had 4 wings of a fowl, and the beast had 4 heads. Those 4 heads were his generals, and you can read about that in the book of First Maccabees. All right, when he was the first to reign in his stead, in his race over the Grecians, over the Medes, over the real Greeks, the Persian Medes, man. So the third kingdom was the Grecians. Okay, and it also tells you too. Matter of fact, I'll just read it. I'm gonna read verse 1 and then jump to 9. This is First Maccabees 1:1, and it says, "And it happened after Alexander the son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Kittim, had smitten Darius the king of the Persian Medes, that he reigned in his stead, his race, his family, the first over the Grecians," man. All right, so he was the first to reign over a people that was not his people. All right, jump to verse 9. I'll read 7, 8, 9, and it says, "So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died." They make movies about this. It's also in secular history. Okay, it says, "And his servants bare rule everyone in his place. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves, so that their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth." So when the people who refer to themselves as Caucasian today, the Edomites, came into power through Alexander, they reverence him, because they'll tell you in history class real quick that civilization started with the Greeks. The Bible says wickedness started with them. Wickedness spread throughout the whole earth when Edom got, and this is when they got dominion over the earth. And they had dominion all the way up until Rome was brought down by Israelites, by the way, so-called Negroes. They hate to bring out that history. Then started the Dark Ages, because dark people was ruling, not because knowledge was gone. And it's too much evidence to come against the statement I just made. There's too much evidence to prove it all to be true. Okay? So those 4 generals, Edomites, put crowns upon them heads, and they began to rule the earth. And then out of them came the Roman Empire. All right? Which is verse 7. It says, "And after I saw in the night vision, behold, a 4th beast, dreadful and terrible and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth, and it devoured and brake in pieces and stamped the residue with his feet. And it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns." All right? And so those 10 horns was talking about NATO, because they mentioned that in this show. Okay, they were talking about the beast that had 10 horns, and they were trying to make it into a man. All right, because Rome fell and then was born again, and we'll prove it by keep reading. I'm going to jump down to, now I'm in verse 8, and it said, "I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them a little horn, before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots. And behold, in this horn were the eyes like the eyes of man, and a mouth speaking great things." And America came out of those 3 small horns, all right, which was an extension from Rome, the rule of the Edomites, okay, because those 3 horns were Britain, Spain, and France, because they all held land and power in America for some time. But then they were all defeated by the people who became the Americans. And America rose up out of that, and America was Rome reborn. All right, when it said the great beast, the dragon, which was wounded but did live, man. All right, so you can get that in the Revelations, the 12th chapter. All right, it talks about how that great dragon, the Roman army, was known as the Red Dragon, by the way, and how it you know, it was locked up for 1,000 years and then was loosed. Right? The Renaissance, the rebirth of Esau, Edom. Edom got dominion over the earth, but that was a 1,000-year period from the fall of Rome, the rule of the Israelites, the so-called Negroes that were ruling all of Europe for that 1,000-year period. All right, starting with Constantine and Byzantine. That's why they call it the Byzantine. Byzantine means backwards. Okay, and that's just fact and truth. And I'm trying to get through this for time's sake. All right. Verse 9, it says, "And I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head was like pure wool. His throne was like a fiery flame, and his wheels a burning fire." And that's talking about the chariots, which they've admitted as lately the U.S. Navy is admitting on national TV, on the news now, that so-called UFOs, or whatever they're calling them now, aerial phenomenons or something, that they exist. And those are the chariots of Israel, man. And they are cursed unto Esau, Edom. When we go to Zechariah, the 14th chapter, because the Most High Power and his son, they coming on those chariots, man. It says, Zechariah 5:1, "Then I turned and lifted up my eyes and looked and beheld a flying roll. And he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll, and the length thereof 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. And then said he unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the whole face of the earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off on this side according to it, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off as on that side according to it. All right, and I will bring it forth, saith Yahweh of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief. And that thief is Esau, Edom. He stole America. He stole the whole world. This is the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. And how did he get everything? Through his blessing, the sword. The wicked is the Edomites, and they were blessed with the sword. And with the sword, you rape, rob, and pillage. And then they established their own wicked governments, like the one that's ruling over us now. This is an unrighteous, ungodly government. All right? And it says, "And I will bring it forth, and the Lord and Yahweh of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief, and into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name." They swear falsely. They say that they're the people of the Lord. They painted the images of Yahushua being an Edomite. You know, you got the Ishis, the Israelis claiming to be the people of the Lord, when their own definitions of tell you that they're not. It tells you the Israeli is a modern day citizen of Israel. There's no connection between them and the ancient Israelites. That's a whole different definition. All right. Back to the lesson. For time's sake, I'm going to jump to verse 14. No, 13. "And I saw in the night vision, and behold, one like the Son of Man came with clouds of heaven." All right. In Revelation 1:7, it tells you he's going to come back on a cloud. What a chariot. The fiery chariot. It said the whole world shall see him and wail. Why? Because he's coming to enter into the house of the thief. All right. And it says, "And I saw the night vision, and behold, one like unto the Son of Man came with clouds of heaven, and came to the ancient of days, and they brought him near before him. And there was given him dominion and glory and the kingdom, that all people, nations, and languages should serve him." All the people of the earth are going to serve the Lord. And then he's going to give that over to his people, his brethren, the Israelites. Okay, let's go to Psalms to solidify that. All right, this is Psalms 2:8. All right, this was a promise. It says, "Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possessions." All right, you can also get Revelation 2:26. You know what? I'm going to read it anyway. I'm going to try to be fast. Okay? But these are heavy points. I hope you're writing them down, man. You people that's new. This is Revelation 2:26. "And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron. As vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my Father. So I don't know, the Lord is coming back to dominate and destroy, man, to get vengeance upon the heathen, mainly upon Esau, Edom. Okay. It says, back in verse 14, and there was given to him dominion and glory in the kingdom, and all people and nations and languages shall serve him. As his dominion is an everlasting dominion which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed. All right. I'm gonna jump down to verse 15. Now Daniel grieved in my spirit in the midst of my body, and the visions of my head troubled. All right, jump down to verse 17. And those great beasts, which are four kings, which shall arise out of the earth. Verse 18. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom. So the kingdom is for the saints of the Most High, the Israelites. All right, like it says in 2nd Ezra, the 6th chapter, the world was created for our sakes, and Esau don't like it. Okay. Because you got a temporary belt, man. You're the interim champion, man. And we're about to take the belt and solidify with that true championship belt. Like Israel Adesanya, hey, his name happens to be Israel. Okay? Verse 18. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. All right, then I would know the truth of the fourth beast, which was diverse from all the others, exceedingly dreadful, whose teeth were iron, and his nails break and devour, which devoured, break in pieces, and stamped the residue with his feet, and the 10 horns, that which were in his head, and of others which came up before him, 3 fell. See, those 3 fell. What was Spain, Britain, and France. All right. And America came up out of Britain. All right. And I beheld the same horn made war with the saints and prevailed against them. And they did. All right. Until the Ancient of Days came and judgment was given to the saints of the Most High. So this is very clear, man, that we're going to be defeated by Esau, held under his heel until the Lord comes back, which is nigh. And then it's going to be given to the people of the saints of the Most High. Not all people. The saints of the Most High, the Israelites. The Bible proves that. It says, and the time came that the saints possessed the kingdom. Thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the 4th kingdom upon earth. And that's America, man. Which shall be diverse from all kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth, and shall tread it down and break in pieces. And the 10 horns out of this kingdom are the 10 kings that shall arise. NATO was started with 10 kingdoms, with 10 countries, man. With America at the head of that. And together they ruled over the whole earth. Rome didn't rule over the whole earth. They ruled over the old world. All right. Which is also spiritually Babylon. Because the Romans kept, and the Greeks, and they kept Babylonian traditions, and they still do to this day. Most of their witchcraft goes back to Babylon. All right. And he shall, and it said, and he shall speak, that he is talking about Esau, America, speak great words against the Most High, and wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand until the time of the times and divided the time. So, hey, they did. They changed the day. You got winter solstice and daylight saving times and all that mess. They changed the dates. All right, they changed the Sabbath and made it on Friday to Saturday instead of the new moon. Every time the new moon comes in is the new Sabbath, which could come on when it rotates a different day every month. They don't follow that. That Esau did that, man. All right. Verse 26. But the judgment shall sit, and they shall take away his dominion and consume it and destroy it unto the end. And the kingdom and dominion and the greatness and the kingdom of the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions shall serve and obey him. So all the dominions, all the places around the earth, all the other heathen are going to obey and bow down to the saints of the Most High. Their king, which is King David, and our ultimate king and savior, Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly, willfully, and very stupidly called Jesus Christ. Call Halal Yahweh Ba'Shem Abashai Ba'Shem Rakak Wadash Wa Abba Babal.